morning, baseball fans, and welcome to October. Yankee fans of the Bronx are ready to crush some Twinkies for breakfast, Rena. And why not? The Pinstripers open their American League Division Series with Minnesota tonight at the big ballpark in the Bronx. Our cameras will be there tonight. We were out at ALDS Workout Day yesterday. Here's a clip.
All those guys are in a good place, and I throw Jay Happ in that mix too, who I feel like is throwing the ball as well as he has at any point in the season. So felt like it was a good decision, and then just trying to, hopefully maximize those guys as best we can.
I'm excited. It's going to be awesome. I'm really honored to get this opportunity, to pitch game one, and it's going to be great. Pitching here, it is different. It's not easy, and it took some work. But I feel like in the second half, I started to get my feet under me and kind of get a good mental process, kind of going into games, and started to feel a lot more comfortable here.
Aaron Judge showed up at his news conference wearing a T-shirt with a Major League Baseball logo, just not the logo that's been familiar for the past half century. On closer inspection, the silhouetted batter in white between fields of blue and red was not in a hitting position, but rather was holding the lumber vertically and smashing it into the top of the logo, creating a red spark. Any takers? Yankees outfielder Brett Gardner. He did that during dugout tantrums, hammering the ceiling and leading to ejections in July and August. Very cool tee. Catchers Gary Sanchez and Austin Romine and designated hitter Edwin Encarnacion also wore the shirts for the workout. New York's most famous T-shirt this year was Savages in the Box. Manager Aaron Boone's infamous comment on his batters during his July 18th ejection. While those garments were on sale at Yankee Stadium for $29.99, there was no immediate word on whether a Gardy Goes Batty merchandise line will be available. The shirt might not be available, and either will CC Sabathia for the division series. Sabathia has been left off the Yankees roster for the ALDS. Yankees manager Aaron Boone said that Sabathia's pitching shoulder did not bounce back well after his final appearance of the season on September 24th against the Tampa Rays. He received a cortisone shot last week and threw an inning in a simulated game on Tuesday, but he's simply not in game shape. The plan was to be for Sabathia to be an option out of the bullpen. If the Yankees advance to the ALCS, the team could reset the roster and place him in that role. If they don't, and barring any injuries that would require them to press Sabathia into service in the ALDS, Sabathia will have thrown his last pitch in the majors. He's retiring. Mickey Callaway has managed his last game as a New York Met. The Mets have fired Mickey on Thursday. Callaway led the Mets to an 86-76 record and third-place finish in the National League East this year after finishing 77-85 and in fourth place the year before. That improvement came along with some, at times, questionable in-game decisions. The walk-off by Dominic Smith in the finale and the home run rookie record by Pete Alonso in the final weekend of the season simply weren't enough to save Callaway's job. The Mets held a press conference via phone yesterday. Here's more.
I know the fans have really come out for us, and we're really great at the end of the season, rooting on Jake, rooting on Pete, and the rest of the players to get to where we got, 10 games over, which is very nice. But again, we're not playing October baseball, and that's what it's about.
Our focus will be pretty simply to continue to provide our players with the support they need to succeed at this level and to put them in the best position to win every game, every day.
Anyone seen Joe Girardi? Joe and former Yankee and Mets star Carlos Beltran appear to headline the list to fill Mickey's vacated job. Perhaps Joe Madden could be an option as well. Meanwhile, Mets All-Star Jeff McNeil underwent surgery on Wednesday to repair his broken right wrist. McNeil sustained the injury when struck by a pitch from Miami Marlins left-hander Josh Smith on September 25th. The 27-year-old batted .318 with 23 homers and 75 RBIs in 133 games. His average was the fourth highest in the National League. Mets have a good team. That's a good job, Rena. I think you should apply. You would do great. The Minnesota Vikings, like their baseball counterparts, have a pretty good team, too. It will be a clash of Minnesota's top 10 defense against New York rookie quarterback Daniel Jones, who has won his first two starts after replacing the veteran Eli Manning. Jones led the Giants to 32-31 and 24-3 victories over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Washington Redskins, respectively, to push New York to 2-2. Giants-Vikings Sunday at 1 from from the Meadowlands. Jets will also be back in action after the bye. Sam Darnold will play Sunday if doctors clear him, the Jets starting quarterback said on Thursday, but he wants to make sure he doesn't die on the field because of an enlarged spleen. It seems like a reasonable request. No, Rena? Yes. Darnold returned to the practice field this week for the first time since being diagnosed with mono ahead of the team's Week 2 game. Darnold has taken most of the first-team reps and is wearing extra padding to guard his spleen, with X-Tech providing him customized protection. Jets are at Philadelphia at 1 p.m. Sunday. Time for some quick hitters from around the world of sports. Knicks held their media day earlier this week. David Fizdale plans to use Julius Randle all over the floor this season. The coach plans to use Randle at point forward, at times asking him to bring the ball up the floor when he gets a rebound. Randle was the Knicks' biggest free agent signing this summer, inking a 3-year, $63 million deal. He's expected to start at power forward alongside Mitchell Robinson at center. We won't even touch rookie R.J. Barrett saying he wants to posterize Kristaps. The reigning WNBA Most Valuable Player was diagnosed with a herniated disc after leaving early during a Game 2 loss to the Connecticut Sun on Tuesday that tied the best-of-5 series at 1 game apiece. Della Don, who scored a team-high 22 points in Game 1 to lead the way for the Washington Mystics, is having treatment, and an update on her status will be given on Saturday with Game 3 of the championship series scheduled for Sunday at Connecticut. In motor racing, Scott Dixon and Will Power both declared IndyCar's new Aero screen ready to race during the first extensive test session for the cockpit protection that will debut next season. In the Octagon, Robert Whittaker returns for the first time in nearly 16 months Saturday. He faces interim champion Israel Adesanya in a title unification bout. The matchup serves as the main event of UFC 243. In boxing, Triple G will also be fighting Saturday night at the Garden. In hockey, the Rangers kick-started their season with a 6-4 win in the opener Thursday night. The Devils and the Islanders also get underway this weekend. And rounding up the sports roundup, the LA Dodgers took Game 1 of their National League Division Series showdown with the Washington Nationals after the Nationals rallied to defeat Milwaukee in the wild-card game. The St. Louis Cardinals drew first blood in their division series against Atlanta, coming from behind to take Game 1. Tampa Bay topped Oakland in the AL wildcard matchup. They face Houston in the other ALDS series that begins this afternoon. Those are the headlines. We hit the C-list for an ode to staying young, even when you're not. Can you imagine someone winning a championship at 70 years old? Well, how about John Force? Given how this season has gone, it's not too early to think we may be on the verge of witnessing history in the making. The legendary Force, a 16-time NHRA funny car champion, is knocking on the door of potentially earning a record 17th championship at the age of 70. Well, to be precise, Force will be 70 and a half years of age by the time the NHRA season concludes on November 17th in Pomona, California at Auto Club Raceway. If he does win the championship, Force would become the oldest champion in history, if not all professional sports. The previous oldest NHRA champ, John Force, at the age of 64 in 2013. Arena, I hope I'm still driving 200 miles per hour when I'm 70. Go Yankees. That's your look at sports. I'm Bobby C. Stay tuned. More Open back after this.